In a world where fairways meet the airwaves, where birdies and banker collide, welcome to the show that takes you beyond the clubhouse and onto the green. This is Balls and Tees, your passport to the golfing universe, where every swing tells a story and every putt has its punchline. Get ready to step onto the last greens and dive into the world of divots, drives, and delightful banter.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is yet another Wednesday, and it is the one and only Tony Tone, the boy with a lot of flair. I am the magician, and yes, of course, if you've seen me on the golf course, you realize that I am a classic man. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, it is that day where I get to chat to experts within the social golfing sphere and all the other professionals who would be listening. Man, I'm so delighted that we have started the year. This is our second episode, and what better way to actually than to actually start it off on a high note. Last week we had 3 guests, and we had a beautiful conversation with our guests, and I just want to say thank you once again to them. And then this week we've got someone who is an expert when it comes to golf equipment, golfing gear, and he knows all about the gadgets that are currently dominating the industry. So, ladies and gentlemen, please allow me the opportunity to introduce Mr. Jason Rowe. Mr. Rowe, how are you, sir?
Tony, great, man. Thank you so much for the invite. Hello to all the listeners. It's a privilege to be on your show. How are things?
All right. Thank you for actually honoring the invite, Jason. And wow, how punctual were you?
No, geez, I've been waiting here for 15 minutes. I don't want to let you down, but I'm here. What's going on?
Awesome stuff. No. So Jason, welcome to Balls and Tees, the only relevant podcast when it comes to social golf. And today I'm actually highly delighted to have someone who understands the ins and outs, the trends around golf apparel, golf equipment, golfing gadgets. Someone who's got an idea of how the whole industry has been revolutionizing. So I'm honored to have you here, and I believe that we're going to have a very interesting conversation because, like any other golfer out there, I'm also trying to figure out what is relevant now, how will it work in my favor. But before all of that, I would actually like you to reintroduce yourself. I tried to do it, but I don't think my introduction had a lot of weight on it. So if you can perhaps reintroduce yourself.
I'm not one to blow my own horn, but I mean, I'm one of the founders of the Golfers Club. I've been selling golf equipment since I was, probably 15 years old. I left school. I think I finished my standard 7, which would, in today's terms, would be the equivalent of a grade 9. Yeah. I think my kids they're going to university, and the other one's in grade 10. So, standard 7 was the Gen X, the 1970s when I was born. So, I was in school, So, I left school in the first 2 weeks of standard 8. I was a good golfer as a youngster, and I played provincial golf for Western Transvaal. And then we moved to Natal, and I played for Natal for a good few years. And I obviously met some of the very good golfers that have achieved some, success on a multitude of tours. I played golf with Darren Fichart, who did very well. He's kept his European tour card for, I think, 25 years. He was, just a great example of somebody who worked very hard at his game and year in, year out kept his playing card, and he's one of our better players. I was lucky enough to play with guys like Tim Clark, who we were in the same side, and Rory Sabatini. Timmy Clark was he won the Players Championship, he won the South African Open, he won this Canadian Open, Australian Open. He was an exceptional player until injury obviously affected him. He doesn't play anymore, but I mean, he's one of the all-time money winners on the US tour, and Rory Sabatini won probably 7 or 8 times on the US tour. So, South Africa traditionally our younger players, our golfers, our professionals, have always punched way above their weight category in terms of accomplishment. I mean, look at guys like Charles Schwartzel, Louis Oosthuizen, Dean Burmeister, Ernie Els, Retief Goosen were a lot of, when I was around, I mean, Ernie just won again for the 80th time.
Jeez.
80th tour win on the senior tour.
Yeah.
And Ernie's just, next to Gary Player, who was our greatest ever, and Bobby Locke, who won the Open 4 times. We've just had we've just had some really great players, and South Africa, I think it might be, we're just a great sporting nation, first of all, and second of all, we have great weather, and we've got 400 golf courses, and golf is relatively cheap compared to the rest of the world. And some listeners out there might disagree with me, but we really have great opportunity. I've traveled extensively. Very luckily, I've traveled to all parts of the world to play golf, and I can tell you, golf is very affordable compared to the rest of the world.
Yeah, 100%. That's very interesting, and I mean, as you've been speaking, I'm thinking to myself, wow, you've seen it all, and not just from the apparel side, but from an experience point of view, to say you've been in the golf course for so long, and you've come across our icons when it comes to South African golf whilst you were playing. So the key question now would be, okay, you played provincial, and you find yourself today as an MD for Golfers Club.
So we're a golf retailer, and the way it worked was I thought I was going to be a professional golfer. So now every young footballer, every young cricketer, think they're going to play for Bafana, or they're going to play for the Proteas. That's just the nature of youngsters and their dreams. And when I started realizing I was a good player, but I was getting beat. I'd win a tournament, and there would be guys that were winning 7, 8, 10 tournaments, and there would be guys when you go play at a national level. There were guys that you'd play well and you'd still get beat, and you start realizing that this is a very tough game to succeed in. And something for the parents out there. There's the parents out there, I mean, we always want the best for our children, and they really think their kids are going to be superstars. And it's very good to give them every opportunity. But you have to realize that only the top 100 or 150 golfers in this world actually make a huge success out of golf. It's a very tough living. And so I decided, if I wasn't going to be a professional golfer, what is the next best thing? I could stay close to golf. And, there's many opportunities in golf. You can become a golf club manager. You can be a greenkeeper. You can join an institution like Golf RSA, who do an unbelievable job running amateur golf in this country. And I was always, very much an ADHD child at school. And I was busy, and I couldn't concentrate very well. And in those days, ADHD wasn't really diagnosed. So, my mother was, and the irony out of it was my mother was a school teacher, and she, and anyway, so I was restless, and I left school, fairly young, and I jumped on a bus from Natal, and I came here as a 17. I was just turning 18, and I started my career selling cars. I wasn't very good at that, but then I went to go and visit a guy in town. They started. My mentor at the time was a guy called Reese Hughes. And Reese owned a company called the Pro Shop, who are still the biggest, one of the biggest retailers in South Africa. They are now our competition. So after spending 9 years with Reese, I decided we're going to open, with some partners of mine. I've got some very good I've got a good partner, in the business. And we started off very small, but, if there's a will, there's a way. And, we started with one store, and we went to 2 stores, and we opened a 3rd store. And now we have 6 stores and a big warehouse, a central warehouse, and we have a franchise store. So we're up to 7 stores, and, we're the second biggest retailer in South Africa. And we employ 130 people, and it's just a dream, and we work on the basis that customer is king, and it's quite a good Cinderella story. So for those people out there that and I'm not advocating that youngsters drop out of school, but if you have the belief, you can definitely make a success out of things.
Definitely, and I mean, your story is very, very. It's a bold move that you made. Like you said, you left KZN when you were 17, came to Joburg, and then that's when you met Reese, who actually encouraged you or mentored you to actually one day have your own. So I just want to find out from your side, Jason. So obviously there is a story behind every single thing. Now, how old were you, if you can recall? How old were you when you first held your first golf club?
Yeah, so I was quite lucky, I have a younger brother. He's also a good golfer, and he in fact he runs our Cape Town operation now. But my dad was a very sports orientated. He was a good sportsman as a youngster, and he introduced us to soccer and cricket and tennis and swimming, and he was a golfer. He wasn't the greatest. I think he was a decent golfer, a single figure handicap. I think it was a 7 or 8 handicap.
Yeah.
And he put a golf club in our hands. We weren't, I don't want to sound like I was one of those privileged kids that was a country club child, because I definitely wasn't. My father was a racehorse trainer, and my mother was a school teacher, and my dad had. My dad's passed now, and he wouldn't disagree with me. But he was a big gambler, so we never really had money as children. But my dad was he was always there at the cricket matches, always at the soccer matches, and he was like our coach. You know what I'm saying? And he made us excited about every sport we played. And he would play golf with the guys, and we'd sort of have one golf club, and we'd knock around with him, and he taught us the rules and you got to keep up with the guys in front of you and make sure that you fix your pitch marks, and once you've hit too many shots, you got to pick your ball up, because you got to keep up with the guys in front of you. So he was very instrumental in ensuring that that we understood that golf is a gentleman's game, and it's a game of honor. It's really the only game where you govern yourself. You're your own referee. 100%. If the ball moves in the rough, or you happen to infringe on the rules in any way, and nobody else sees, only you can go and tell your playing partners that you've done something wrong. And that's why I believe it's the greatest game. But I was always very interested in the equipment side of golf. I loved the latest technology in the drivers and shafts, and the first cavity back irons that came out were made by Ping, and the first and the best wedges when I was a kid that came out with square grooves were and Cleveland wedges made unbelievable, beautiful looking wedges, and I always was like sort of enamored with. And I loved the allure of the technical side of golf equipment. And if a shaft was regular, too soft for you, you'd hook the ball, and if a shaft was too stiff for you, you'd slice the ball. And that we've obviously I've taken that passion across, and try to inculcate that with my staff. So when the average golfer walks into our store, I always tell them we have to make an experience for them. We have to tell them we are the doctors and you're the patient, and we're going to make sure that you walk out of here, that your golf game is in a better place. You're much healthier. You've got a good mindset, and you're going to enjoy the game more. Because if you enjoy golf, I've got to tell the listeners out there that golf is such a difficult game, but it's got a terrible and cruel way. When you're having your worst round of your life, if you had one good golf shot, or you hold one long putt, or you hit one good drive, or you make one last birdie, it just seems to bring you back to the game, which is it's just an amazing game.
It's quite abusive if you were to ask me, because I mean, many times we have a lot of terrible rounds, but like you said, that one shot makes you believe that tomorrow is going to be a different day. It gives you hope.
Yeah. I've seen some of my best customers say to me, Jay, I'm giving up. I can't play this game anymore. I'm not playing anymore. I said to him, are you crazy? What are you going to do on a Saturday? What are you going to do on a Sunday? You know what I'm saying? There's something about golf. They say that you'll learn more about a human being in 4 hours or 5 hours around the golf course than you will over 20 years over the boardroom table. And there are so many deals being made, and you know, my biggest plus, or the biggest encouragement has been seeing so many players of color come and play golf. I mean, you know, I just see the guys coming in, they're so excited, and they you know, they just want to play golf. So you know, we are grateful for every new golfer that walks through our doors. I can tell you. So, and you know, my staff are very diverse, and a lot of them come from different backgrounds, and it's exciting for me to uplift them and teach them the game of golf, even though they weren't born into it, you know, because whether you start golf at 60 or you start golf at 6, it's a game for life. You never really leave it. You might go into a bit of a hiatus and you might step away from it.
Yeah.
But there are times when, you know, there are times when you go on holiday, you want to play golf every day. And there's times when you're busy at work and you're under pressure and you can't play. And there's times when some young couples, they're having a baby, and you know, the modern couple today, the husband is quite involved and he needs to be there, and whatever the case is. So he would love to play, but he's got to look after the baby. So, you know, and you go through patches, but I mean, ultimately everybody comes back to the game.
No, 100%. It's people get hooked to the game. I don't know. For some reason, there's a magnet around golf, and I'm speaking from experience. I spent quite a while without playing golf, but as soon as the bug came back, I wanted to be on the golf course every single day.
Yeah, and you know, I see it especially with you know, and a lot of guys or ladies, when they were sporting at school, they played a bit of hockey, or you know, a guy was a half decent cricketer, or he could catch a ball or kick a ball, or whatever the case may be. When they start golf, they think it's going to be a bit like hitting a hockey ball, the cricket ball, or like kicking a soccer ball. But it's so much different. You know, it's just, you had one good shot and 5 bad shots, and you know, one duff and then a real absolute beauty, and you think to yourself, geez, I've got it, and then the next minute you hit it on the head, or you miss the ball completely, you know. So but my biggest excitement is seeing when golfers break 100 for the first round, for the first time. Or they break 90, and now they want to break 85.
80. Yeah.
When they break 85, they want to break 80, you know. And then they come to me and they say to me, how I'm now shooting consistently 82, 83. How do I shoot 79? So how do I break 80? And I tell them, listen, I said, we've got millions and millions of rands worth of stock in our stores. Yeah. And if you want to take it to the next level, you have to go and practice your short game. You have to go and you've got to practice the 100-meter shots, the 85-meter shots, the 60-meter shots. You've got to go and practice your chipping around the greens. You've got to vary your short game. You've got to have bump and run, the hop and stop, the spinny one, the high flops. You've got to go into the bunker. You've got to play the long bunker shot, the short bunker shot. And you've got to go and practice your 3 and 4 foot putts, because those are the putts that make all the difference. When players go through their round, they say, geez, you know, I actually hit the ball okay today. I don't know how I shot what I shot. Yeah. And putts. And how many putts did you miss from under 4 foot? Oh, no, I missed 3 of those. Okay, so now we've got 2-3 putts. Take 2 off there, you know, and take the 3. Knock in the 3-4 footers that you missed. Now we're 5 shots better. So if you shot 87, you're down to 82. And how many times did you duff a chip that you didn't get onto the green? Oh, no, I did that once. Okay, take 1 more off. Yeah. How many times did you choose the wrong club? No, 4 times. You see, and when they go through their round, they...
Hello, Jason.
Amateur golfer is... Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yeah, your line was breaking
Tony?
There for a second. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, back. Sorry. And I was saying the difference between a professional golfer and an amateur golfer is the fact that a professional golfer knows exactly how far he hits every club. Point 1.
Yeah.
And a amateur golfer, if he's got 150 meters to the flag and he hits his 8-iron, let's say, 7-iron, 150 meters, he won't take a 6-iron. Yeah. Because he believes he hits his 7-iron 150 meters.
100.
But he only hits his 7-iron 150. He only hits his 7-iron 150 meters when he hits it well. He doesn't take into the fact he might hit it slightly thin or he might hit it slightly fat, you know? And when he does hit it slightly fat or slightly thin, he hits it 140 meters. Now he's 10 meters short of the green or 10 meters short of the pin. And then that's when the trouble starts. So, you know, professional golfers have just got a much better understanding of where to miss the green, where to miss the fairway, if they're going to miss, and exactly how far they hit their clubs. And obviously their short game is a couple of notches up on an average golfer. They just don't make mistakes. So if you're looking to make lower scores, you got to start thinking about those things, you know.
100%.
And also you got to get fitted for the right golf equipment. I mean, so often guys watch YouTube and they watch advertisements and they see guys on the tour using this club or that club and then they want it, but they don't even check if they can hit the club,
That's
you know,
true.
or if the golf ball is right for them.
Yeah.
And you know, our businesses are built nowadays on fitting guys on the right equipment, making sure the guys have got the right loft, the right shaft, the right grip thickness, the right lie angle on their irons. And I might be talking a bit of Swahili to the listeners out there, and they might not understand what I'm saying. But, you know, the thing is, if you're not, you know, if you're going to wear, you know, if you know you're a medium shirt and I put you into an extra large shirt, it doesn't feel great on your body,
100%.
you know? And if you're a size 7 shoe and I give you a size 10, you're going to walk funny. There's no question.
Yeah.
And you know, customers just sometimes want to buy the clubs for the look, but they're completely not functional. And a lot of times, you know, customers will walk into our stores and say, I bought this and I bought that. And then we have to say to them, listen, sir, I think you've made a terrible mistake. I know you've spent a lot of money on this stuff, but it's
not suitable.
These things are just not, and they're not suited to your game. They're not suited to your game, you know. And, so, you know, luckily, when customers walk into our store, they're very much like, I don't know if you've got children, but if your children walk into a candy store, it's quite difficult to control them. They want this, and they want that, and they want that, and that's what makes our business, you know, quite exciting, because customers really like nice things, and we just have to point them in the right direction. Sometimes they're quite headstrong on what they want, but you know, my staff are trained to make sure that, you know, we point you in the right direction.
No, 100%. In your opinion, Jason, right now, what would you say is the best invention in golf?
Well, I mean, you know, over the years, they've improved the golf ball technology so much that nowadays, if you had to say to me, you know, we sell golf balls from as little as 20 Rand, and the most expensive golf balls are 90 Rand. And you say, you know, when people start, you know, often during Christmas time, and we've just gone past the festive period, you know, it might be your granny, or it might be your aunt, or it might be your sister who doesn't play golf, and they want to buy Tony something for, you know, for the Secret Santa, or for the, you know, stocking filler or something, whatever the case may be. And they come in and they want to buy some golf balls. And when you tell these people that a golf ball costs 90 Rand, you know, you almost have to, you know, get the smelling salts out to wake them up after they fainted, because they cannot believe that the 3 golf balls can cost 270 Rand. But the truth is, there's an enormous amount of technology that goes into golf balls. And I started playing golf when I was 5 years old, and you know, sometimes golf balls, they were just, for want of a better word, they were wobbly. They just didn't. They weren't. The centers weren't completely round. The quality of the cover wasn't great. When you hit them badly, they used to get a big cut in them or a big smiley in them. We call them smileys. Anyway, you know, so and the golf ball travels a long way. And I think the greatest thing over the years is that golf balls have. If you buy a 20 Rand golf ball, you buy a 90 Rand golf ball. There isn't a bad golf ball today. You cannot buy a really bad golf ball. So that's the, you know, if you buy 3 golf balls for $30 each, it's 90 Rand. You might say, no, this can't be as good as, you know. But for the average golf, it's a very good golf ball. It'll suffice. It'll do the job. And, you know, until you hit it into the water or out of bounds or over somebody's wall or whatever the case is, it's going to last. So that is one of the great inventions. And then there've been so many. You know, I mean, I started golf when I was a youngster. When I started golf, we used to use bladed irons, which were not cavity back, and steel shafts, and the woods were steel shafted with persimmon or laminate heads. They were made from wood.
Yeah.
You know, I'm only 50. I'm not 100 years old. I'm 50, but you know, it seems like so long ago.
Yeah,
and I've seen the golf business transition so many times. They've gone from wooden-headed woods to metal woods with steel shafts, to metal woods with graphite shafts, to titanium-headed drivers with graphite shafts, to carbon-headed woods with graphite shafts, to a mixture of carbon and titanium. So there's just, I mean, when I talk to some of my younger staff, they think I'm from the Bible. You know, they think I'm that old. I said, guys, you know, I'm telling you now, I've seen it all. So, and I've been very privileged to see it all, because I'm saying I'm 50 and Tiger Woods will be 50 on the 30th of January 2025. At the end of this year, he'll be 50.
Yeah.
And I've seen Tiger his whole career. I mean, Tiger will go down probably, I mean, besides Jack Nicklaus as the greatest. And I saw in his prime, I saw 20 years of the most ridiculous dominance that you'll ever see in your life, you know?
Yeah.
And please.
Hello, Jason.
But I really believe. Hello, Tony?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Sorry, you were breaking again there.
Sorry, for some reason it breaks up now and then. So I'm just saying it's very, you know, very privileged to have seen every shot of Tiger's, every major, every tournament win, and you know, I mean, I sometimes get a bit of a lump in my throat when I think how his career is coming to an end, because he, you know, through injury and car accidents, and it's a bit sad for me. But you know, he's and I can honestly say. There's been a couple of, and I've in the golf industry, we've been through ups and we've been through downs, and I've seen the best of it and I've seen the worst of it. And there's been you know, if it wasn't for Tiger Woods, I don't really think golf would have been quite as buoyant as it is today. And I don't think people give him the credit that he deserves. I mean, they do. He's the greatest, and they do. But I mean, I'm very grateful that when I start, my business is now, or our business is now 24 years old. Yeah. And Tiger Woods basically won his years before we started our business, if you know what I mean. So it's just been, I've just been very lucky that people have been watching golf, loving golf, wanting to be like Tiger, and our business was also in a growth period at this very same time. And then the second thing is, after COVID, you know, we all nearly went out of business during COVID, but after COVID, golf has received such a shot in the arm, or such an injection of enthusiasm. You know, I think human beings, just in general, they
woke up.
They woke up, and you know, they just thought to themselves, you know, the fragility of life. You know, we could have all died. You know, it was like doomsday, and whatever the case may be. Yeah. And when they got out, they said, I want to see the fresh air. I'm not going to cancel that golf time. I'm going to play. I'm going to go ride my bicycle. I'm going to take my family on holiday. I'm going to enjoy my life. And I've never seen the golf business more buoyant than in the last 4 years. From 2020 to 2024, please God, 2025 is another good year. But we're very blessed to be in the golf industry over the last 5 years.
No, 100%. All right, Jason, can we just quickly go for a 2-minute water break, and then when we come back, let's delve into the economics of golf, as well as the evolution of golf in South Africa since you started playing. And let's catch up in 2 minutes.
Sure. I see you now. Okay.
All right.
Sure.
In a world where fairways meet the airwaves, where birdies and banker collide, welcome to the show that takes you beyond the clubhouse and onto the green. This is Balls and Tees, your passport to the golfing universe, where every swing tells a story and every putt has its punchline. Get ready to step onto the last greens and dive into the world of divots, drives, and delightful banter. The Magician.
Invisible Ink Consulting, your gateway to financial success. We specialise in providing the best solutions to manage your finance and accounting, ensuring a better life for you and your business. Our expert team offers top-notch accounting and tax consulting services tailored to various industries, including but not limited to engineering, medical practitioners, in construction, non-profits, events management, attorneys and financial services. Experience the power of our best analytics, backed by a commitment to our clients and a high level of knowledge. At Invisible Ink Consulting, we strive to deliver the best service you can get, making your financial journey seamless and rewarding. Choose Invisible Ink Consulting for a brighter financial future. Your success, our priority. Please visit us at www.invisibleinc.co.za to reach us. www.invisibleinc.co.za.
The Magician.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another lovely episode of Balls and Tees. As you know, ladies and gentlemen, I am joined by the MD of Golfers Club, Mr. Jason Rowe. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let me bring back Jason on the line. Jason, are you with me?
I'm with you, Tone.
All right, 100%. Jason, before our short break, I mentioned that I would like for us to actually dive into the economics of golf. I mean, there's been so much happening in the country for ages. And like you said, Corona was one of those times where business went south. And then after Corona, there's been quite a huge injection, especially of social golfers into the system. So from your end, as an individual who's in the golfing business and has been there for 2 decades, going for 3, how has it been? If you look at, let's say, golf in 1980 up till let's go back to 1980 till today. How has it been in terms of where it started, where it's heading, and if you look at the business side of things, is it looking promising? Has there been moments where there's no trajectory and everything has flattened down? All those kind of scenarios.
Well, like I said, earlier, I've seen all the ups and downs during the golf industry. My time in the golf industry, and for a long time, golf was very much in the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s. It was very much predominantly a white elitist sport. We never ever saw players of color. And I can honestly say to you now that I've never ever been so excited about the golf industry. We have never been busier. Rounds are up at golf clubs. Memberships are up. I mean, I'm a member at Bryanston Country Club, and I can tell you they've closed the membership because there's just too many members. People cannot, they obviously can't you can't make everybody a member if they're not going to get a tee time. So, to be fair to everybody, they're just saying, guys, listen, for the time being, membership is closed. And slowly but surely, as openings become available, they'll let players in. Yeah. And it's happened at a number of golf clubs, So that's a great indicator that golf is in a very good place. And I was sitting with a friend of mine, and, funny enough, he brought, I mean, if you guys are familiar, I'm sure the golfers out there are familiar with a brand called Strixon. Yeah. And Strixon golf balls. And when we started Golfers Club, a friend of mine by the name of Mike Powell brought Strixon to South Africa. And for the guys couldn't even pronounce the name Strixon correctly. And they thought it was a Chinese import at the time. And in fact, it's one of the premium brands from Japan. Yeah. And Mike has, did a great job with Strixon in South Africa. And then he got the top job in the UK, and now he's got the top job in California. And I had breakfast with him yesterday morning. He was here for a short visit. Yeah. And he said to me that rounds in the US are up. Memberships are up. Golfers has never been busier. They've almost Strixon as a brand has sort of doubled their turnover in the US
Oh, wow.
over the last couple of years. And Frickson, let's understand that the big power players in golf are TaylorMade and Callaway and Titleist.
Yeah.
Those are the big brands. So for a brand, a Japanese brand in the US to double its turnover, Mike's obviously doing a very good job, but the product is obviously exceptional. And that means that there are more consumers. The more consumers there are, the more they want to try different things.
That's true.
So we're very comfortable where things are at, and we're thinking about opening a couple more stores in a more some strategic areas where it makes sense. And for the most part, I can only see golf growing from strength to strength over the next while, and that's even with some adverse economic conditions. With interest rates going up, and so there are people out there that are. It's tough to get by every month. So it's golf it must be doing well relative to how tough it is out there economically.
100%. And I like the fact that you mentioned that Bryanston has now closed membership, so have other golf courses at the moment. But doesn't it actually disrupt the entire market to say, okay, the value chain? If you look at the number of golf clubs that have full membership, and you look at the fact that, okay, more people are trying to break into the space, yet there's not enough resources from a golf course point of view. Doesn't it affect the market to say, or doesn't it challenge the market to say, guys, let's go and build more golf courses? And obviously, from a retail point of view on your side, I'm sure you're practically looking at, okay, if more and more golf courses aren't taking any more membership, then it means that my market would remain as it is. There won't be any increase.
No, on the contrary, it's not every golf course that's closed their membership, and a lot of clubs are welcoming members every single day, and they're making it more and more attractive. Bryanston just happens to be in a catchment area where it's an old club with an existing membership. And golf's become more popular, and they've got to a point where they've saturated, and they're not completely full. You can still join as a weekday member, and they have various other options. But there are other options like our competition, rival company, the Pro Shop. They own the World of Golf, which is a really good a practice facility. They offer through Playmore Golf, which is one of the other businesses. They offer a membership where you can join and you get, and they tell you where you can play. And golf courses aren't busy. Golf courses aren't busy 24/7, 7 days a week. They have downtime too. What Playmore Golf has done, they've gone and checked, with the golf courses, when is your downtime? Sunday afternoons, Tuesday afternoons, Wednesday mornings, whatever it might be. And players can get games there at a really good deal. And then places like Cathedral Peak, Acacia Golf Club, there's a number of golf clubs that hold they clubs as such, and they're in good standing with Golf RSA, and they are able to offer memberships at a very affordable rate. So I think a club like Cathedral Peak, which is not the kind of club that you would play golf at every Saturday if you live in Gauteng or in Joburg, but you can join the club and get an official handicap, and an official you're an official member of a golf club for as little as 11 or 1,200 rand, so a year, not a month, a year.
That's cheap.
So, yes. And Acacia Golf Club is Acacia, which is a club in Pretoria, which even if you live in Mondial, or you live in, Olivedale, or you live in, Lone Hill, you can join Acacia Golf Club, and it makes you an affiliated member. And the difference between a non-affiliated member and an affiliate member, when you go and play as a visitor at a golf club, the difference in what you're going to pay is quite demonstrable. You're going to be paying, maybe 500 rand as opposed to 850 per round. Now 450 or 500 rand is manageable. 900 rand for a game of golf plus your halfway house, plus maybe a caddy, plus a cart, it becomes quite pricey to play a game of golf.
No, that's very true.
And the outerlying golf clubs like I don't know, if you live in the middle of Joburg, I mean, I live in, in Fourways. So I'm thinking, Ramsar Country Club, which is Roodepoort Country Club, Benoni Lake, Benoni Country Club, Springs, Pollock Park. They all offer memberships. And they also have a lot of clubs of what they call a visitor's day or an open day in the week. So when you pitch up there, they treat you like a member. It's very affordable. And most clubs are looking for business. They always want to make sure that their membership is healthy. And if you like the feel of the club, you like the warmth and the camaraderie, and you don't live an exceptional distance away from the club, it's manageable. You can join that club for what I think is quite reasonable relative to, gym fees or, sports club fees. It's no different. Yeah.
No, 100%. Now, Jason, I just want to understand. I mean, obviously, there's been, like you said, there's been an influx. If there's no better way of mentioning it, there's been an influx of people of color into the golfing space, and I think mainly it's because of the economic changes where there's becoming the affluent market is actually increasing, right? Now,
of course,
if we were to look at the retail business of golf and tie it down to golf courses, of which majority of our golf courses here in South Africa obviously will rely mostly on social golfers, looking at the pool of people that it has. From a retail point of view, is there a direct link, or do you think there's a direct link, or do you think that the professional side of golf still sustains business within the golfing space?
Well, I mean, it's a very simple equation. I'm saying if there's more golfers and you're a golf business, the consumption of golf balls, golf equipment, the need for new sets, golf shoes, socks, apparel is going to go up.
Yeah.
So, from our point of view, we are absolutely thrilled with the amount of guys that are taking up the game. And from a corporate perspective, I've never worked for a corporate company, but it's a great place to do deals.
Yeah.
And company golf days, we cater to company golf days all the time. We're always doing their, when you pitch up at a company golf day, and I'm sure, Tony, you've played in a few company golf days or sponsored days, as we call them. You pitch up and there's always some very nice ladies to welcome you in and welcome to our day. And they give you, what's your name? And you say, I'm Tony, how's it? Whatever. They give you a shirt and they give you your welcome pack, and off you go, and you put your shirt on, your matching cap with obviously the branding of whichever corporate is hosting the day.
Yeah.
And you get to meet 3 new guys on the tee. And by the end of 4.5 hours on the golf course with these guys, they're your new best friends.
Yeah.
And then you have a shower and you have a few drinks, and then, you get into prize giving and you sit around the prize giving table, and, it's just a great way of bringing like-minded people that are in the corporate space that want to do business together, that want to do deals together. And I mean, I think it's one of the greatest forms of networking. And I've built my business, I can tell you right now. I mean, we would never be where we are today if it wasn't for our staff and, the guys that I know and the people wanting to support us. And, from all the rounds of golf I've played with some really nice people, influential people, guys that are deal makers and captains of industry. And from that perspective, we've been quite lucky. But I can tell you that for the most part, golfers are very nice people. They're just nice guys, and they want to have a good time on the golf course. It's their 4 or 5 hour break where they can just switch off, whether you're if you're a sales manager or a CEO or, whatever you might be the company financial director. You don't have to think about numbers. You don't have to think about spreadsheets. You don't have to think about profits and losses. All you got to think about is your next shot. And, I've found that generally at corporate golf days, the guys have a great time and a lot of friends are made. And, it's just a great place where people of all ethnic backgrounds and all, different backgrounds from when they were children, whether they were underprivileged, privileged, whatever the case may be. It really has no relevance there. It's just a matter of, you talk golf, you talk rugby, you talk soccer, you talk cricket, how are we doing at the World Cup, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And by the end of the round, you just, big friends. And I like that. That's just why the golf is a great game from that perspective.
100%. I think it's the only sport where you can actually mix business with pleasure. I've seen other sports codes where, obviously, if it's a soccer match, you just meet up before you start the game, and then you just shake hands afterwards. But when it comes to camaraderie, I think golf is the only place where you can actually have fun while talking business or networking, like you said, just to make sure that you continue building relationships with people in different industries from different backgrounds as well.
Absolutely. And I mean, I've also noticed, and I mean, I might be overstepping the mark here a little bit, but I'm just saying, I've just noticed when, youngsters that join a big corporate start playing golf, or they are decent golfers and they've been playing golf from young, and they happen to play with a boss or, somebody of influence in the company, and they're good players. They seem to sort of rise in the company, and they just the boss wants to play golf with them all the time at the next golf day, whatever the case, and it's just very good for their development within a company.
No, 100%. I mean, what you're saying, I hope it echoes with everyone that's listening now, to say, listen, guys, golf is the only place to actually make sure that you have fun while advancing in your career, if I can put it that way. Jason,
there's a good chance, there's a possibility that the boss, loves the English Premiership, and he loves Liverpool or Man United or Arsenal or whatever. And I don't want to. You'll notice I'm mentioning many names there. I don't want the listeners, having a go at me. But or Chiefs or Pirates. I'm not sure. But the thing is, and if you can talk soccer, you can talk rugby. That's why sport, just in general. I mean, not getting away from golf, but just sport in general is just such a great conversation piece, and it breaks down barriers. So, I've just noticed that in my life, always being a good golfer, people seem to, when you play with somebody, you might be the CEO of this company or that company, you might be a 20 handicap golfer, you immediately gives you respect. If he plays with you, you say, geez, he's already giving you respect because you're playing good golf. And he's in awe that you can play good golf, because it is a tough game.
Yeah.
And that is quite nice to, and when you offer him some advice, and maybe he's not standing correctly, maybe he's when he's putting, he's moving his head, or, he's doing something wrong with his chipping or whatever. When you give him some advice, he's not going to say, what do you know? He's going to say, thank you very much.
They actually take the few words of wisdom.
Yeah, they take the advice.
Yeah.
Of course. But, getting back to, our business, which is, primarily and fundamentally hardware. When we talk hardware, we're talking drivers, fairways, hybrids, wedges, and apparel, all the clothing under the sun, golf shoes, gloves, all the latest hats, all the gadgets, technology, GPSs, rangefinders, or whatever. If my staff are well versed on all the latest stuff, when somebody walks in, it's not a difficult sell, because human beings inherently like nice things.
That's true.
They want to look better. They want to pitch up, making sure that they look the part. And I can honestly say that I say to my staff, educate yourselves. We educate them as best we can. But watch all the latest videos. Watch all the latest reviews. Watch all the latest shows that talk about the latest equipment, because the internet is a very powerful tool, and YouTube is a very powerful tool. A lot of these customers have watched these videos, or they've done their own homework. So when they walk in the store, they sort of know what they want.
That's true.
And I said, you don't want to be caught with your pants down. So it's very important that our staff stay on top of the technical side of what is new and exciting, whatever. And we're going to a very exciting time now because every January, going into early February, the brands launch their latest equipment.
Ouch.
And we've just received the brand new Cobra Adapt, which is the new range of Cobra driver, which has 32 different settings in the driver head. We just received the new TaylorMade QI35, which is put into play by guys like Tommy Fleetwood and Rory McIlroy, and all the guys. A lot of the TaylorMade players, Scotty Scheffler, they all just moved into the new driver. So it's a really nice. It's a really nice piece of equipment. And on the 12th, I think on the 12th, the 15th of February, the new Callaway Elite arrives. We've just received the new Titleist Pro V1 and Pro V1 X golf balls for 2025. They are absolutely magnificent. Cleveland wedges have just arrived. The new Z Spin wedges. They're just they're crazy. They feel soft and Cleveland always made such unbelievable looking wedges, and Strixon have just released their new irons and woods range. So we're in a good space to hit the ground running in 2025.
100%. Jason, we are now approaching the end of our episode, but I just want to find out currently in your golf bag, what's the one club that you can't do without?
At the moment, I carry I can tell you that I've always been, and thankfully I've always been a very good putter.
Yeah.
So I haven't had, the rest of my golf game at times has waned, especially my chipping over the years. I don't know if it's from stress or too much wine or, my wife that shouts at me or, the paying the school fees. I'm not quite sure what it is, but, my putter is a Scotty Cameron, Titleist, obviously own the Scotty Cameron brand, and I've got a Titleist Scotty Cameron Collector's Champion's Choice, which comes with a Ceruleum insert, and it is, it's a collector's. So Scotty Cameron as a within the Titleist brand, or under the Titleist umbrella, release once or twice a year a limited edition range of putters, and I got this Champion's Choice. It's called the Champion's Choice. I got it about 3 years ago, and it hasn't left my bag. I love it. So, even when I putt badly, some guys want to get rid of their putters, but I just know it's not the arrow. It's the Indian that's shooting the arrow. Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, and I mean, because the truth is, when you work in a golf store, I'm a bit like an alcoholic in a bottle store because, I can't help myself. I mean, as soon as I look at a driver or a set of irons, or I say, geez, these look good. And then I take my existing irons out and I put the new irons in. And then I look at this driver and I think, and I mean, it's terrible. I mean, can you imagine being a chocoholic in a sweet shop? I mean, it's not nice,
Definitely.
So, yeah. But I mean, I can tell you, I've got some customers that aren't even in the golf business, and I like that. So I'm very thankful for them because they like to buy things.
Yeah.
So, if it wasn't for bad golfers and good customers, we wouldn't have a business. So we're very thankful or grateful to our customers.
100%. And then before I let you go, Jason, would you perhaps share a few words of wisdom, especially with new entrants into golf, particularly beginners? I don't even want to call them amateurs. I'd say beginners coming from a fittings environment, an equipment environment. What would be your number one tip for people who just started playing golf?
My number one tip for guys that are getting started is to make sure that you don't listen to your friends who you're playing golf with in terms of instruction.
Yeah.
If your friends want you to play golf with, if I say to you, if I'm friends with Tony and I say, Tony, I want you to come and play golf with me. I'm not a good example, but I'm going to say to you, if I'm a 10 handicap, I'm going to say to you, Tony, I'm not going to teach you how to play golf. I want you to come play golf with me, but go and see a PGA certified professional for some lessons. Go and get 3 lessons just to get you started. Because if I start teaching you, I'm going to teach you wrong from day one.
Yeah.
You're going to hate the game.
100.
That's from an instruction point of view. And then from an equipment point of view, please, and I'm not knocking the international websites and the big box retailers, go and see guys that are good at what they do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We and I mean, whether it's the pro shop who are our competitors or ourselves or your on-course professional, we know what we're talking about when it comes to getting you started. And if you've got 5,000 Rand to start, we'll find you a set of golf clubs. If you've got 10,000 Rand to start, we'll find you a set of golf clubs.
Yeah.
So we've seen it all. I just don't like it when guys go and they bought a set from their friend on Facebook Marketplace and they think they got a good deal and then they pitch up and the clubs are completely wrong for them, and or just at least come and get some advice from us before before you buy anything. That's I always tell my staff, never scare a customer away by taking him to the 20,000 Rand set of irons. Show him where we start. We start with our biggest seller is a package set. A package set is a one-stop combination set. It's got a bag, a putter, a set of irons, a driver, a fairway, a hybrid, or the matching covers. You can get away with 5, 6, or 7,000 Rand.
Yeah.
And even if you hate the game, the most you've wasted is 5, 6, 7, or 7,000 Rand.
Yeah.
When guys get involved and they drop 50, 60 grand on a set of clubs and they bought the wrong clubs from a friend who suggested this, go and see my friend. Oh, jeez, it could be horrendous,
100%. No, that's very true. And once again, I just want to say thank you, Mr. Rowe. It has been good chatting with you, and thank you to everyone around you who's given us the opportunity to steal an hour from your schedule. I believe
no problem.
I believe you'll be sharpening your chipping skills or your short game skills over the next couple of days as well, since you've also picked up that's where you're currently struggling.
Yes, exactly. So I'm playing on Friday morning, and I've got a foursomes knockout match at Bryanston, and I'll never really get nervous about golf, but I can tell you I don't want to let my partner down. So tomorrow morning I'll be at the range working on my chipping, and it's been a privilege being on your show and great chatting. Thank you so much, and I just want the listeners out there to remember golf. Really, if you haven't played it before, get into it, and I promise you it'll be a game for a lifetime. You can play it until you're 90 years old.
100%. Thank you once again, Mr. Rowe, and you must have yourself a lovely evening further, sir.
And to you. Thank you, Tony. All the best. Ciao.
All right, bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is our guest for today, Mr. Jason Rowe, who's the MD of Golfers Club. And as you heard the man, golf is the only place where you can literally mix business with pleasure. And he's in the industry, he understands, he sees it all, and there's a couple of things that he shared which are quite enlightening to say, listen, from what he's seen, most juniors in entities tend to actually progress quicker when they start playing golf because they are now playing with the big boys in different industries, and that's where decisions are made. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have gone off our 7 p.m. slot, and we are currently on 4 minutes past 7, but I have to say it's always good having this show on Wednesdays, and I would like to speak to much more and more people from different aspects of life, because there's only one common thing that binds us together, and that is the addiction that we all have for golf. And for those who haven't started playing golf, please don't be scared when I mention the word addiction. It is not from a bad context, but it is from a good place where we know that this is one sport that will build you as an individual, mentally, physically, emotionally, and as you say, as you've heard, even economically, it can help you advance. So, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, it is only January. I'm not going to come with the business of saying the weekend has officially started. I want everyone to go to the office tomorrow. Go to the office tomorrow. People are playing golf on Friday as well, and I want them to go and play, because for me, I'm starting my weekend. Don't follow my trend. Only after February, then can we officiate the weekend from Wednesday. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say thank you, and please continue sharing our link with your loved ones, even your enemies and frenemies. Make sure that you share with them so that we spread the love of golf. This is the one and only Tony Tone, the magician, signing out. The magician.